and you have to pay them either a cancellation fee or you have to do the roof with them. And Citizens Insurance is not necessarily going to go out there and cover everybody. And then there's going to be more competition, and more competition gets looser guidelines. Hey, I got some good news for you, Floridians. If you own a home and your insurance is going out of control, listen up. But first, listen to this. This is very unfortunate. This article here mentions that there was a gentleman, his name is Alan, and 4 years ago, he was paying $1,000 for insurance per year. Now, this was in a villa that was built in 1984. Right now, his latest and greatest renewal came out, $6,800. That's an almost 600% increase. Would you believe it? And this is why this good news is coming out, is because we are going in for a reform on insurance. Now, obviously, this gentleman, Alan, was not the only one that's affected so significantly. There are plenty of people in Florida, pretty much everybody who has insurance, that have been negatively affected because of all the hurricanes, because of all the roofing insurance scams, and all the other people that came out and started door knocking, telling you you have damage, and then you went for them, you signed up with them, and then you were stuck in a contract where they ended up suing the insurance companies. That's basically what started the whole snowball rolling down the hill and building up bigger and bigger and bigger. And right now we're in this position where we have a Congressman, Maxwell Frost, who is a Democrat, and he just wrote a letter to Governor DeSantis. And he said, listen, we've got to do something about this. Apparently, the Democrats think that Governor DeSantis is prioritizing his race to be the next president over what's actually going on in Florida. And right now, he is our governor. So the Democrats are writing to him saying, listen, you cannot prioritize your presidential race. You have to do something with insurance. And he is. In 2023 alone, there have been 3 legislative sessions that help protect the homeowners of Florida and the insurers. Because it's not just one-sided that the insurance industry is taking advantage of the people. It goes actually both ways. If you don't know, listen up. Right around 2020, this whole scam started happening. And it was the door knockers, the roofing door knockers. Whole bunch of roofers would just send out salespeople. They would door knock and they'd kind of look at your roof and be like, hey, did you see that? Did you see what's going up on your roof? Your roof is currently damaged, and it's probably from this recent storm we have. And by the way, that recent storm was not a named storm. It was not a tropical storm. It was not a hurricane. It was just like high winds on a particular day. And then they're blaming this problem on your roof, which is not even leaking. It just looks like you might have curling shingles or something like that. And then they get you to sign up. When you sign up, you are committing for that company to actually go through the whole process with you. And you have to pay them either a cancellation fee or you have to do the roof with them. They get you in touch with an attorney. The attorney works for free until they win your case. And this is one of the things that has been changed by Governor DeSantis. No longer can the roofing companies get you to sign up, and then you are forced to hire an attorney of their picking, which then charges no fees for you. You have to pay for your own attorney. This is a very good change because it will prevent the door knockers. The other thing that DeSantis did is he actually made it illegal to door knock for this purpose. So if you get someone door knocking you, telling you something about your roof or another, not the solar guys, they're still allowed to door knock, but the roofing people that are saying that you have damage on your roof, take their card and please report them, because we do not want this kind of perpetuation of, a free roof is being promised, and then what it causes is the entire insurance industry to go to shambles, and then those companies are leaving the state because they lost or settled so many of these insurance claims that were brought to court only because someone door knocked you. Not because there was actually a problem from some little storm that you've never heard of. But according to Alejandro Perez Duque, what he says, by the way, who directs the PVG Insurance Group on Key Biscayne. Now, he says the following: without getting political, under DeSantis, the insurance reform he did introduce through the special legislative session this year will be beneficial to consumers, but it will take some time to cycle through, given the manipulation by attorneys and public adjusters. And this is very true. I don't know if you know, but the public adjusters definitely manipulate, and attorneys definitely manipulate all of these things. What happens is this: a policy gets submitted, something gets signed, and then there's an appeal process, and then there's all these roadblocks that are put into place before things can go forward. Whether it's roadblocks by the consumer advocates or whether it's the roadblocks by the insurance companies and the entire insurance industry, there's always something going back and forth because it's a negotiation process. And Florida's insurance commissioner, Michael Jaworski, said that this usually takes about 2 years before things are implemented. So we had a bunch of things happen in 2023, but that doesn't mean they're already all in effect. In the meantime, patience can go a long way. I know that right now the pendulum has swung, and it was swinging from here all the way to here. And I hope we are here. I hope we are not going any further, because so many insurance carriers have left the state. And right now we're down to just 2 handfuls of insurance carriers. Now, thankfully, we do have Citizens Property Group, and Citizens Insurance is not necessarily going to go out there and cover everybody. They're going through their depopulation program right now, where they are actually submitting some of their policies over to other companies so that they don't take all the risk out there. Now, Perez Duke also said the following: we are at the peak of the hardest property insurance cycle in history for catastrophic coverages such as hurricanes. And like in prior peaks, when more carriers ultimately enter the market and this competition pressures rivals to loosen up, the consumer will benefit from having more choices and better pricing. Listen, all that means is that we are at this side of the pendulum, and now we're going to have more companies enter the market, and eventually the pendulum will start swinging, and it will settle somewhere in the middle. It might kind of go back again and then back again and so on. But all this means is that we're going to have more insurance carriers come into Florida, start underwriting more policies, and then there's going to be more competition, and more competition gets looser guidelines. The last thing he said is, it's just getting through the storm that matters right now, and understanding that this is not sustainable and will come to an end eventually. I absolutely 100% agree. Even though I've done a bunch of videos showing how bad it is with Florida insurance right now, I think that it won't be that long, maybe 2-3 years, before our insurance is going to be in a very healthy place. And I don't think that Alan, from the beginning of this video, is going to have a $1,000 policy. By no means will that happen, but it's not going to be $6,800. It's going to be a lot less, hopefully at least 33% less. Tell me, how have you been affected by Florida insurance? Write in the comments, please.